This 2026 NASCAR Win Totals Part 1 edition of the NASCAR Gambling Podcast here on the Sports Gambling Podcast Network is brought to you by Kalshi. Make real money predicting sports. Kalshi is available in all 50 states, and you get $20 free with promo code SGPN. That's Kalshi, promo code SGPN.
Driver, start your engine!
Strap in and pull those belts up tight as the Sports Gambling Podcast Network presents the NASCAR Gambling Podcast.
I'm just gonna put my foot on the floor and I'm not lifting till I see God or a checkered flag.
My man.
With all the news and the best bets for your NASCAR weekend.
We want to thank you tonight for these mighty machines that you brought before us. Thank you for the Dodges and the Toyotas. Thank you for the Fords. Lord, I want to thank you for my smoking hot wife tonight, Lisa. In Jesus' name, boogity, boogity, boogity.
Now, here are your hosts, Rod Villagomez and Cody Zeeb.
Welcome into another episode of the NASCAR Gambling Podcast here on the Sports Gambling Podcast Network. He's Cody Zeeb. I'm Rod Villagomez. And just like we thought, Cody, once the big announcement was made in NASCAR, the books decided to push the button and release the odds. And so now, folks, we have real stuff to talk about outside of, well, listen, any conversation I have with you, Cody, is real. But now it really gets real.
Yeah, it does really get real. We've had a great offseason. There's been a lot to talk about, a lot of news, and we knew there was going to be no shortage of that, especially with all the trial stuff going in and everything. But now we've got real odds to talk about. We've got real things to bet on, and that's what we're here for, right? That's why we live to do this and why we love to do it. So, yeah, I'm looking forward to it. We have 20 driver win totals available, Rod. 36 drivers in the series, so 20 of them we're getting options on, and I'm super pumped to talk about it.
Now the question is, though, are all 20 of these guys going to even get a win? That's really what it all said and done, and we'll break it all down, give you our favorite thoughts on the first 10, because obviously, Cody, anybody that's listened to this show more than 5 minutes knows that if we tried to go through all 20, you guys would be here until next week. So we're going to be easy on you, right? We're going to give you the first 10. We're going to give you the whole weekend to sit on it and think about it and place your bets on it. And we'll come back on next week, probably Tuesday, and give you the rest of them and then let you set the rest of your guard. We don't want you to blow your bankroll out now. We're giving you an opportunity to think about this and stew on it. So, definitely excited about it.
Yeah, these are great parlay pieces too, especially some of them that numbers are juiced up a little bit on. So, the ones we talk about today, throw them in with some divisional and NFL stuff going on. College football championship game. The next week you'll have the other 10. You could toss in with the conference championship games, and it'll be just beautiful.
Sounds like we've got your betting card planned for the next several. Well, we definitely have it for the next several months, but at least for the next couple of weeks, we get you in there. Slow roll, saying only 18 days until Rod busts out with "Rock the Casbah" on his vinyl for the unofficial start of NASCAR at the Clash, buddy. Shahi and I like it. Yeah, I definitely rock the Casbah sooner rather than later. JDK, afternoon, fellas. Afternoon, JDK. JB Comrade says Marcus. I'm sure he's talking about Marcus predicting already that Christopher Bell is going to
Marcus did comment, Rod. It's above these comments for whatever reason. But he says that he believes that Christopher Bell is going to have a banner year with his most career wins. So safe to say he'll be on the over on the Christopher Bell win total.
I'm sure if the over was set at 36, he would still, the over under was 37. He'd still take 37 because he'd just have the Clash as counting of one of them. Andrew saying 4 weeks from today, I'll arrive in Daytona Oh my God, can't
Let's
take
fucking go.
Matt Winter saying where you see the win totals at. Matt, we
Yeah.
got all of them that we're going
Caesars.
to tell you.
Caesars has 20 of them listed, and Bet365 has a couple out. I think it's only a handful, like 6 or so, and they're repeats. But Caesars has got 20 of them up. So there, I know a lot of people don't like that book. I know, Andrew. Sorry, I know you had some bad experiences there, but they tend to give us the best things for NASCAR options, and so just we use what we can.
Yep. Sorry, Matt. I misunderstood your question. I'm doing 16 things, and I was like, wait, we're going to see the total win totals. We'll tell you that in a second. But one of my places where my eyes were at was to tell you right now that it's New Year, New Gear. SGPN merch store got a bunch of items out there for the new year, and right now, go get this. You got 10% off of everything. If you use the promo code 2026, go get yourself one of those Racing Gambling Podcast coffee mugs. I'm telling you right now, I don't know what it is, but the coffee tastes way better out of one of our Race SGPN coffee mugs. So if you get the Racing Gambling Podcast coffee mugs, make your coffee taste that much better, almost like you're drinking gourmet coffee. So go get yourself that. Use the promo code 2026. Get yourself 10% off of that. All right, Cody, we talked about so much news now that's been spilling out lately. We were talking about the drivers that are entering the Daytona 500. Obviously, we broke down the entirety of what we thought about the new format. So if you haven't listened to that, go back and listen to that. That was a great episode. And then, we wrapped up the O'Reilly Series drivers changes. It's been a very busy off season, and just it's coming to an end. And I can't wait.
It's really pretty much just about over. We only have 32 days until the Daytona 500 proper itself, which means 31 days until the O'Reilly race, 30 days until the truck race, where we're going to have stars like Tony Stewart. Ricky Stenhouse Jr. is going to make his Truck Series debut in that. That was announced today, Rod. Another piece of news there. He'll be driving the 45 truck for Nice Motorsports. So, yeah, that's man, again, these guys, it's hard to believe some of these guys have no starts or very little starts, right, in the Truck Series, but it will be Ricky's first start over there. So, and then obviously the Clash 2 weeks before even the Daytona 500. So it's I think we have one more week of off-season shows, and then we're into Clash betting talk.
It's just so crazy. And now I think they're going to have the Clash odds, because obviously with everything said and done, I think now's a good time in books to start releasing those Clash odds so we can at least.
The good news, we already have a full slate of Daytona 500. There's every Daytona 500 bet you're going to want out there. So we will have no problems with that show. By the way, Daytona 500 show is scheduled over on the YouTube. Head over to the NASCAR Gambling Podcast YouTube. Click the little bell there. You're not going to want to miss the Mega Pick Show live. We're that's one of them where we indulge ourselves and go for a long ass time, because we're excited to start the season. And the Daytona 500 deserves one of those 2-hour mega super episodes, Rob.
How many have we done? Is this going to be our third, or is this our second? I can't remember.
The mega ones, I think like our second, because I think last year was the first year we were like, let's schedule this and go big, right? This is going to be our 5th season, crazily enough, of doing this show. But yeah, it'll be our second year where we were like, okay, we're blocking out time. Already told the wife, I'm busy this day, leave me alone. Well, I didn't quite say it like that. But
that is why Cody is now single.
I've been married for 15 years. I know not to talk to her like that, but
good man. No, listen, and that's the thing too. Like, we've been at this so long. I was talking to my family earlier today, and I was telling them about, because they still always say, well, and what do you do? And I'm like, well, I'm still a podcaster, and I still have to explain it to them. And I was like, we're on episode 730 right now, and they're like, wow, they have no idea what that means.
Yeah. That's what impresses people when they're like, you still doing that podcast thing? Like, yeah, we're on 700 and whatever. And they're like, oh, really? Like, okay, that's a lot of fucking shit. Like, yeah, it's been working out pretty decent for us.
How's that little podcast hobby doing for you? It sounds like it's going okay. It's like, yeah, Grandma, it's going really good. Right. Richard saying, hey guys, good to see you. Good to see you too, Richard. Yeah, excited to be talking about these win totals. So, all right. So here's the thing. This is Caesars is giving us 20 drivers, like Cody said earlier, that we're going to be talking about. We'll split the first 10 up. So we're going to cover everything from Shane van Gisbergen to William Byron, and then we'll get into the rest of them after the break. But I don't know, Cody, is there any like pressing other news stories got going on, or are we almost ready to start kicking down the?
I think we're pretty good, Rod. There's a bunch of little stuff kind of coming out here and there, but I'd say nothing else super pressing. The Ricky Stenhouse was kind of the big story of the day, so we'll roll with that, and I say we get into the picks.
I say we get into the picks, but before we do any of that, I want to tell you all about our friends over at Avo. Make more money betting sports with Avo. That's AVO. Avo is the best sports betting tool that helps you make a profit every time you decide to place bets. They do this by spotting arbitrage and plus EV opportunities for you faster than the competitor, and they keep you organized in one place. If you're new to arbitrage betting, you're finding opportunities in the market where you can bet both sides to lock in a profit. Doesn't matter what side happens, you are still going to get paid. Plus, they've got the cleanest dashboard out there. It's super easy to understand and to use, but a little confusing. Then they can teach you how to use it with step-by-step video guides in case you have questions. Let me tell you, I logged into this the other day so I could start tracking my bets with Avo, and I'm telling you right now, if I can understand how to use it, you can understand how to use it. If you're still unsure, though, check out the free Discord at Avo Official. That's AVO Official, and see the success people are having for themselves. Get started now at avo.bet. Use promo code SGPN for $18 off. That's avo.bet, promo code SGPN for $18 off. Been so excited to talk to you lately about Kalshi. Kalshi is a real money prediction market, legal in all 50 states. And in all 50 states, you can trade tons of markets in sports, including NFL, college football, college basketball, NBA, NHL, and more. Plus, you can even trade props like first TDs. Besides sports, they got tons of other markets, including politics, entertainment. Hell, you can even trade on the weather. With Kalshi, you can trade on anything. There was Survivor going on a few months ago, and they're going to do it again. But in the meantime, how about you trade on what the best AI on January 17th is going to be? Are you a Grok supporter? Do you like the Grok? Are you a huge Grok fan? Well, how about 3% or 3 cents rather on the yes? If you invest $100 and the Grok is the best AI on January 17th, you're going to get $3,334. Now, if you're Gemini, you're going to get 97 cents on the dollar, but go back, Grok, right? It's our friend on Twitter. New Kalshi customers get $20 when you use promo code SGPN. That's Kalshi, Kalshi, promo code SGPN. I don't ask Grok much because I don't want Grok to talk to me. I'd rather just go unnoticed by Grok.
I love our AI overlords, Rod. I think they're the greatest thing that could have ever happened to us.
All hail, all hail. All right, best thing to happen to us, though, is the release of the win totals and the odds for those. And listen, we're swinging right out of the fences on this one, Cody, and we are starting right at the top with the guy.
We're not picking and choosing. We're just going down the list. How Caesars has it. There doesn't seem to be a rhyme or reason. It's not alphabetical. It's not by number of win total. Maybe it is by juice, actually. It is by juice.
Is it by
it's
juice?
by over juice. So the most juiced ones at the top, the least juiced ones at the bottom. That's an interesting way to do it. But yeah, I like having a heavy hitter right at the start.
Well, this heavy hitter right now goes by the name of Shane van Gisbergen, SVG. Interestingly enough, and this is where I've been really digging into how books set odds and how books try to cover themselves. And I've been really studying up on this stuff, right? And this makes it interesting for me because his win total is set at 3.5. The over is at -190. The under is at +160. No one in their right mind with 6 road courses on the schedule is taking
it is 5 this year, right?
Well, 5, but isn't Chicago kind of the street course?
Chicago's gone, but San Diego is the 5th one. Because Mexico,
Chicagoland is there. Yes.
Chicagoland is that's an oval. So it is 5 road/street courses, but still, the number should be set at 4.5, right?
That's what I'm saying. Like it should be set at 4.5. Give me 4.5 with. I would take I would take -160 on over 4.5. I feel like that -150, -160. Is a little more you could swallow that a little more than -190 because the over is going to hit. You just know it. Like SVG is going to at least get 4 of those 5. The only one that I'm a little hesitant about is in San Diego. Not because I don't think he's going to do it, but like, I don't know. I just feel like somebody else might win there.
That's the one I'm the most confident in him winning, just because it's completely new to everybody, and that gives him so much more of an advantage over everybody else. Now, obviously, we saw some stuff at Chicago where there was some crazy rain and other things. That probably not going to get rain in San Diego, although it snowed in California when NASCAR's raced there before, so I wouldn't put it past him. But I think he has the biggest advantage there. Look, 3.5. So here's the tough part, right? Is it's minus 190. It's hard to lay minus 190 on a bet that's going to happen this Sunday, right? But laying minus 190 on a bet that's not going to get paid out until November, that's pretty tough. So again, this is a good parlay piece. If you want to throw it in to juice up some other stuff, you're going to have to sit on it all year, and that's the tough part. But for me, this is an easy over. I would have taken over 4.5 because he's going to win 5 races this year. But 3.5 is even better because that gives you a mulligan where he loses one of these races. Look, it's not even close right now, okay? We've gotten to the point where he is the guy. And yes, TK, Coda has been his weak point, but is that because he hadn't finished figuring it out? I think he's figured it out at this point. So I'm not worried about Coda anymore. I think he's going to go in, kick everybody's ass at Coda. He's established himself as far above and away the guy at road courses. I think the only way he loses at road courses or the San Diego street course this year is something has to go wrong, right? There's a wreck, there's a mechanical issue, there's a horribly timed pit call or pit stop or whatever. But straight up, who's going to win the race on speed and talent? It will be SVG, hands down, no ifs, ands, or buts about it. Sadly, we don't have a win total on Connor Zilic, which I would have taken the under on because he's not going to come in and compete with SVG on these road courses. It's not even, it shouldn't even be a pipe dream. It's not going to happen. SVG is going to go out and dominate these races. He's going to win all 5 of them, and he's for sure going to win at least 4 of them. I am extreme. I mean, it's minus 190, so yes, you should be the one you're most confident in, but I'm the most confident in SVG this year because he's going to go out and take care of business at the places where he needs to take care of business. He's clearly the best. He continues to get better, and they're not even going to be close.
You know, and really the only thing that this boils down to is when a lot of people start evaluating bets based on their merit and their value and everything like that. Obviously, you've got to, if you want to win $100, you have to bet $190 to make that happen. So are you willing to sit on a $190 investment to get back $100 at the end of the season? I mean, if it's a lock, then sure, but we know that many things are a lock. Notable, Mexico City, not on the mix anymore. Like Cody said, Chicago is out of the mix. It's going to be San Diego and Sonoma back-to-back, which last year was Chicago and Sonoma back-to-back. So it's not that much of a shuffling of that much. But, I mean, look, if there's still 5 road courses on the season, you should be able to get SVG to win 4 of them. Has the field, the only question, Cody, and I think we can just wrap this one up on this one, is do you think the field has had enough time to catch up to him, or are we just going to crown him?
No, I crown him. I think that he truly is. I don't think anybody's going to get close to him. I think that he has so much experience on these things. He's now comfortable in these cars that we're going to go through a period here, and it will end eventually. All of these great things, all of these great runs, as Rowdy pops in, right? The Chiefs don't make the playoffs. All these great runs come to an end, Rod. But he's in that run right now. Sorry, I had to take the shot. If you got the shot, you got to take it. But all these things come to a run, but this is the run, right? And Willow, Connor Zilic, and Gibbs nipping at his heels. First of all, Connor Zilic is not nipping at his heels. Has he done anything in the Cup Series? No. Guys, I cannot tell you enough. Being good in the Xfinity Series, now the O'Reilly Series, and translating that to the Cup Series, Ty Gibbs is the perfect example of that, is extremely, extremely hard. Connor Zilic will not only not win any of these road courses, he won't be in competition to win any of these road courses this year. I'll say it now, and I'll stand by it this year. I don't think he is going to be a threat to win any of those races, and I don't think we'll see him in victory lane. I think that, like every other rookie in the history of pretty much the entire series, he's going to struggle. We've not seen rookies come in and win races outside of, Cindric wins the Daytona 500, stuff like that. Yes, but not going to happen. Ty Gibbs, I will say, has been very good at the road courses. Chase Briscoe's been very good at the road courses. They just are not SVG, and he has such an advantage. There's no other track or driver or style you can go to and say one driver has a massive advantage over everybody else like SVG does on the road courses. So it's an easy over for me, and I think he'll win all 5.
Yeah, I think over 3.5 is the play here as well. Again, just you got to manage your units to make it make sense for you at the end of the season.
And, yes, Justin, hit me up in the Discord. I will absolutely friendly wager with you that Zilich does not win a race, because he's not going to win a race. Rookies don't come in and win races, and maybe he wins at a super speedway. Fine, that's the one always outlier, because crazy stuff can happen, and we've seen that. But he's not going to come in and win a road course race.
Yeah. And again, this is all the Ty Gibbs thing too, and we'll talk about that when the time comes as well. All right, let's move on to Bubba Wallace. He is set at a half of a win. This is another frustrating odds set here too, because a half a win is his projection. The under set at plus 145, the over minus 175. Keep in mind, Bubba Wallace, 3 career wins. 1 came last year. He's only ever had 1 win in a season. He's never had multiple wins in a season. So, Bubba Wallace comes and has that amazing run, kisses the bricks at the end of the season, but that was the first time he'd won in 2 seasons. So
this is where I don't understand the books and why. I get why you don't set it at 1.5, right? You leave yourself highly exposed to the under. Why not set it at 1 and let it push to give us a better number rather than the half? I don't know. It's again, juiced as fuck, as Rowdy says. Yes, that's the problem with these first couple we're going through, is the overs are just so highly juiced. This is another good parlay piece, I think. I do think Bubba Wallace is going to win a race. I think we saw a big transition for Bubba last year. He gets the new crew chief and comes in. And in a year where 23XI as a whole struggled, Tyler Reddick was horrible last year, and Riley did not do well either. Bubba had a pretty good season and a strong run near the end of the year. He goes out and wins at Indy, obviously, the Brickyard 400, grabbing a crown jewel win, but had a really good, strong run of races. And I think we're going to see him win another one this year. So I would take the over. Again, parlay piece. I'm not just going to play it by itself at minus 175. That's the difference. I would actually play SVG minus 190 over 3.5 by itself, because I think that it is almost a guarantee. Like, nothing's guaranteed. I get it, but I feel so confident he's going to win 5 that I'll take him to win 4. Bubba, minus 175, I'm not quite ready to go that far. But parlay piece, I would still take the over.
And I know there's, so many bettors out there, not just in NASCAR, but in general, that are like, well, a profit is a profit. However you make your profit is however you make your profit. And I get that. I understand that. But your investment versus all the millions of things that can go wrong in a NASCAR season, do you want to be out $190? Do you want to be out $175 if Bubba Wallace comes in second place 4 times and doesn't get that win that we think he's going to get, right? It's just, and we'll talk, actually, we've got a whole episode about this on Wednesday, but in the meantime, I will say that if I were to pick a side of this, I agree with you. Bubba Wallace should be able to win a race. I think the fact that you watched the last couple of seasons too have been really good for him. He's gotten 14 top 10 finishes in both 2024 and 2025, 6 top 5 finishes in both of those seasons too. So over the last couple of seasons, we definitely have seen a maturation process for Bubba Wallace, and to be able to watch him win at Indy, that kind of gave him a big boost, right? Because the rest of the season sort of fell into place after that for him. He had some pretty bad runs at Bristol and Loudon, but 5th at Kansas, a 4th at Talladega, and just some good solid runs there toward the end of the season. So I'll give Bubba. Are we keeping track here? Because now we got to get into the point where how many wins are we giving people?
I'll keep track, Ron. I got a sheet of paper right here.
It's 5 wins so far. Yeah, we've
write them down as we go.
We're giving SVG 4. We're giving Bubba 1. So that's 5 so far. Because again,
great.
Remember,
Go ahead.
No, I was going to say, remember, there's only 36 races. So we've got to keep track of how many wins we're giving people.
Yes. Great tease by you, by the way. Next Wednesday, Rod, we do have a show scheduled over on the YouTube already, but next Wednesday, we're going to be talking about how to bet on NASCAR. We used the how to do whatever for dummies graphic because it looked cool, right? Not for dummies, right? We're not calling you dummies, but just like a basic, you've been, like you said, studying a lot into how the book set the lines and stuff. And our entire goal this year is to make NASCAR betting fun again, right? And go in and enjoy this. So we're going to kind of try and walk through it. It's going to be, I'm actually super excited for the episode because I don't even fully know what to expect. This is your brainchild, and I'm just going to show up for class and run as we go. But yeah, that's going to be a really fun one. So make sure you tune in for that next week, just to kind of, back to the basics and why we're betting on it, how we're betting on it, some of the better ways, why the books do certain things. It's going to be a fun one before we get the season fired off here.
I 1,000% agree, only because I'm the one that's putting it on. All right, let's turn our attention to Mr. Chris Buescher, set also at a half of a win. His over is set at -175. His under is set at +140. Chris Buescher did not win a race last season, although we were high on the opportunity for him to be able to do so. He didn't do it. He has 6 career wins. He won 1 in 2024, 3 in 2023, 1 in 2022, and then had an outlier out there in 2016. I mean, look, we've sung the praises of RFK. We've sung the praises earlier this season of RFK. Chris Buescher, though, I mean, he won earlier. He won 2 seasons ago, but he didn't win last season. Is this a precursor for this season, or do we think he's going to get in victory lane this year at least once?
Well, how do you think I feel about these RFK cards, Rod?
You want to give them all the wins.
Yes, I think that no, this isn't. And look, obviously, we're starting out with the chalky ones, right? It's -170 for a reason. The books fully believe Chris Buescher is going to get a win because he is. He's going to win a race. Last year was a down year, and we saw it from 2311, and we saw it from RFK. So expanding to the third car for both of those teams possibly held back the first 2 cars, but getting into year 2. Those teams should get stronger and be able to build going forward now. So I'm less concerned about that for both of those teams. And actually, I'm pretty excited for a majority of the drivers. Riley Herbst's the outlier between those 2 series, right? Or between those 2 teams. So I do think that RFK, we're going to see a little bit of a resurgence. We saw Keselowski was like really close to winning like 8 or 9 races last year. If you kind of look in, chances he had or second place finishes, stuff like that. And Chris Buescher has been a great race car driver. Honestly, the one guy we've seen really go head-to-head in the Cup Series with SVG on a road course is Chris Buescher. So he's always a guy that could jump up and steal one of those, but he can win just about anywhere. He's a great race car driver. Down season for RFK as a whole last year, down season big time for Buescher, but I think that he's going to bounce back and fully expect him to be in victory lane. Obviously, the books do as well. Am I just going to go bet this by itself at -170? No, but another good parlay piece to use. As you're crafting parlays and throwing stuff together over there, or a lot of times people will use boosts or free bets. This is one of those great things for free bets, right? If you get a bunch of free bets kind of throughout the times, sure, you could throw it on the game this Sunday or something, but I know a lot of people will just throw those towards a future, whether it's a championship or stuff like this. Obviously, -170, maybe not the best use of a free bet, but an idea at least, right?
Yeah, no, absolutely. And again, this is how however you want to roll or manage your bankroll, it's on you. But if you want to compare some apples to apples in this situation, we were talking about Bubba Wallace having a nice chunk of top 10 finishes last year. Chris Buescher, 16 top 10 finishes, 5 top 5 finishes. So if we're singing the praises of Bubba Wallace, we do have to kind of sing the praises of Chris Buescher, who is equally as good of a driver last year as Bubba Wallace. Maybe just one less win in the win column for Buescher rather than for Wallace. All right.
Are you taking him over or under, Rod?
I guess I have to take him over. If I'm taking Bubba over, I got to take Buescher over, right? Because Buescher's at least had more wins in his career.
3 drivers. We've already handed out 6 wins.
Well, again, I'm looking at my numbers and I'm okay with this.
This is why I love Andrew. He corrected himself. It's 28, but he has 28 free bets on the Daytona 500.
Good Lord.
I love you, Andrew.
Yeah, that's true DGen status right there. So
that's beautiful. That's beautiful use of having those free bets. So
I'm gonna have to have Andrew as a guest on. We're gonna have to have him on to break down how to use those free bets, because that's fantastic. But
yes.
All right, let's turn our attention to Alex Bowman, another driver. Did not win a race last season. who is set at a half of a win himself. The over is juiced at -160. The under is at +130 for us. Alex Bowman comes into this series with 8 career wins. He is kind of spotty at best. 1 win in 2022, none in 2023, 1 in 2024, none in 2025. There's some even year magic going on since the 2021 season for Alex Bowman. But, I mean, look, he's on the hot seat. Can he break through for a win is the question on everybody's mind.
Yeah, this is a really tough one because at -160, I'm not interested in betting the over because I don't feel confident like a Chris Buescher or even a Bubba Wallace that Alex Bowman is going to go out and win a race. That being said, I know that Alex Bowman can win races and he can do it anywhere, a place random as Chicago, street course or other places, right? And Chicago land coming back, and a lot of people are excited. He won the last race that we had there. I don't think he goes into it as a favorite. He's not going to be a favorite anywhere because he never is. But this is tough. I mean, this is honestly is one that I don't want to bet on, and so I'm not going to bet on it. But we make picks on the show because that's what we do. We don't lean because that's against SGP policy. So I will take the under at +130 because that's the juice side. But honestly, I would take the juice side either way. If you were giving me +130 on the over, I would take it that way because I think that Alex Bowman probably does win a race, but I don't think he's worth betting on a -160 to the over, if that makes sense.
It makes sense, and it's frustrating because when you start laying out cases and when you start making and you pull in the stats that you want to back you up, this is one of those ones that contradict everything you say because we talked about Chris Buescher not winning a race last year, but 16 top 10 finishes, 5 top 5s, right? Well, for Alex Bowman last year, he didn't win a race, but guess what? 16 top 10 finishes, 6 top 5s. So are all stats created equal? The question of the day for you, right? Do you really believe that Chris Buescher, like you said, you're more high on Chris Buescher to win than you are on Alex Bowman to win? But the stats say if I were to put those stats in front of you, it's the exact same driver, and you're telling me one's going to win a race and one's not. What's the difference in this, right? The difference is that Alex Bowman maybe not a threat to win, where, yeah, the consistency is there to be top 10, top 5 driver, whereas Chris Buescher, the potential is for a win, yet not so much. And I don't know. It's such a difficult thing to break down because on pure number basis, right, if you're just one of those pure number guys, your model's going to lean toward probably Alex Bowman getting a win. But this is where you have to take everything into account and say, yeah, but. So I'm going to go under. That's a long way to say I'm going to go under as well, Cody. Because it's tough because we know the consistency of Alex Bowman, but we also know that the wins, they're not as readily available as they once were in 2021.
Yeah. And with a guy like Chris Buescher, I just think that he's going to be a dominant car, probably multiple places and really have a good shot. With Alex Bowman, it's just going to be random. It's just, there's no telling where it's going to be, and he'll pop up and he'll have a good race. And when he does win, I'm not going to be surprised. Like, obviously it was shocking that he won the Chicago street course, but it wasn't really shocking that he won a race. Like, we know he's good at road courses. We've used him every year, the one and done for COTA, because he's very good there. And he's good everywhere, but betting on him at this number to go over, that's why we're both taking the under, even though we think he'll probably find his way to victory lane.
It's just so tough because, like you said, but you can't put too many way juiced bets in because you don't want to completely bankrupt yourself if at the end of the season none of this comes true. So, I mean, we can only control what we can control.
You start the season cash in the +130. If you lose it at some point, maybe you'll have bet on him that race anyways. It won't matter. But I think if you're going to bet on this one, if you must bet on an Alex Bowman, the under is the better bet.
Agreed. Okay. Let's talk about more of these drivers, but first I want to get to our friends over at Underdog. Underdog is your home for pick'em entries where you can win up to 5,000x. Underdog, bringing the playoff magic all playoffs long. Every playoff weekend, open the Underdog app, see what promos you got waiting for you. It is NFL divisional round weekend in the playoffs. I'm looking at this Buffalo Bills-Denver game, Stockton, California's own Brandon Cooks. Dude's been electric lately. His receiving projection for receiving yards is set at 30.5. Please give me the higher than. I don't know what it is, but Josh Allen has absolutely loved him some Brandon Cooks lately. So have we. 3 catches for 58 yards against the Jaguars. How about 4 catches for 101 yards against the Philadelphia Eagles a couple of weeks ago? Brandon Cooks is going to cook, so please give me the higher than on this receiving total. You could take that and more to the bank right now. Underdog's got a brand new offer. If you're a new customer, play just $5, get $75 in bonus funds when you sign up with our promo code RACE, SGPN. Rhythm's been crushing the NFL this season, especially on props. And last season, they were even better in the playoffs. How about 6-1 on passing TDs, 2-0 in interception props, 22-12 on reception props. It's super easy to sign up. You can run predictions off the house model or make your own and play with the sliders. I just talked about Brandon Cooks. Well, guess what? Rhythm is backing me up. They're backing me up to 28.5 receiving yards. But if it's the over there, I think you can get another at least 2 yards on the catch and get over the 28.5 receiving yards. Minus 114 Rhythm's model is telling me exactly what I already knew. So I'm very glad to have it. Looking to go premium? Use promo code SGPN25 when you download the Rhythm app for 25% off of your first month. Download Rhythm. Use promo code SGPN25. Gotta love it when you watch players that played at the school that you went to. It's a lot of fun to see them go off like that on national television.
Yeah, that's pretty sweet.
It is. All right, Chase Briscoe. This could be set at over 22.5, and Cody would probably still take the over on this one. But alas, Cody, you have to decide whether or not Chase Briscoe is going to win 3 races as the over under set at 2.5. The over at minus 150, the under at plus 120. What say you about Chase Briscoe this year, bud?
Well, I love Chase Briscoe, Rod. I don't know if you've noticed that from he really became a love last year. We fell in love with him as the season went on, and you know, we won a bunch of money betting against him early, won a bunch of money betting on him late, and he's just the perfect guy. So I really do like the over on this. Again, the books think that way as well. That's why it's the minus 150 side of things. But Chase Briscoe proved to us last year, they come out of the gate slow, they're starting to figure stuff out, but once him and James Small got on the same page, it was lights out, right? They had an amazing season together. He was in competition to win just about every single week throughout the entire back half of the season and really the last 3 quarters of the season. Once they figured it out, he was constantly there, able to win. He showed that he could win big races like the Southern 500 multiple years in a row, even on different teams. He's in an elite JGR type of car, right? And we're going to get to his teammate Denny Hamlin here in a minute. Denny won a lot of races last year. Can he keep up something like that? We'll talk about it. But if there is slack to be picked up, a guy like Chase Briscoe is the type of guy that's going to do it. A second year with the same team, with as good as this team is, a guy that's still entering into his prime. I think we've just seen the tip of the spear for what Chase Briscoe can do. So absolutely love the over on the 2.5 for Chase Briscoe this year.
I think a telling sign of his overall speed, obviously, is the 7 poles that he accumulated, the most poles in the series last season. So he would come out of the gates just fast, right? That car has been fast all season long, and for him to be able to sort of catch up to it, right? He said it, and we've said it time and time again. He was always like, I don't even know how to drive this kind of a car because it's so damn good. And you couldn't say that toward the end of the season about Chase Briscoe, right? He had back-to-back poles last year. He put it on the pole in 3 straight races from Charlotte to Nashville to Michigan, and then again in Indianapolis and Iowa. So, you know, he's just been fast. He's fast all season long. He, like you said, he finally caught on. I think another 3-win season is within the realm of possibility as long as he continues to stay fast. So to pick a side on this one, I'm with you on the over. So that's 3 more wins for all of us. It's tough, but I mean, and minus 150, that's the thing. Like, I almost feel like Chase Briscoe is going to get 4 wins in this one, right? Because I don't see another 6 race winner this year. I just don't. Like, I feel like this is a little more competitive and people are going to not win as many races.
I think that as we get through this and as we keep talking about things here, I think we're going to continue to see that. I think that we're in for another season. And really, this is how NASCAR's been in the next gen era. In 2021, the last year of the old car, Kyle Larson won 10 races plus the all-star race, dominated the year. Since then, in the 4 years we've been doing this podcast, we've not seen anybody go on a run like that. And really, I don't think anybody's won over 6. If they've gotten to 6, maybe.
I'll get to the numbers.
Okay, but but either way, I think the wins are going to continue to be spread out. And so if you're lining stuff up, you're looking at the championship odds. Chase Briscoe is one of the top guys in the sport for good reason. So just to get 3 wins, I think is going to happen for him. And again, if SVG doesn't win all of the road courses, the next guy in line for me behind SVG currently is Chase Briscoe, and he's good at other places. He's won on super speedways, pole at Daytona, won at short tracks. He's won at intermediate tracks. So yeah, I think that Chase Briscoe will certainly get to 3 wins. And really, I think, like you said, probably more than that.
Okay. So listen, just a little bit of a peek into what we're going to be talking about on Wednesday. I'm not giving it all away, but I will say in to kind of contextualize this a little bit, right? 14 drivers won a race last year, right? That's 23% of the field. 8 drivers won more than 1 race. That was it of those. So, I mean, that tells you right there that 8 drivers won more than 1 race. So how many drivers do we have winning more than 1 race already in this?
A lot.
See, that's what I'm saying. Like
4 of the first 5.
Yeah, we get excited, but you look at the win and how the wins and how they're spaced out. It's, again, it's we're a little deceiving to ourselves sometimes. So Chase Briscoe, we will go over 2.5 wins and cross our fingers that he has another.
Don't worry, there'll be some unders in here. And again, like we've started to where the way they've got these listed is, the highest juiced up odds to go to the over. So these are the guys that the books expect to go over. So it's not shocking that we should expect them to go over as well. There's certainly going to be some unders coming up, and maybe with the next driver, Rod.
Indeed. All right. How about Chase Elliott? His win total is set at 1.5 wins. The over at -150, the under at +120. So again, the books are expecting him to win at least 2 races. This is another tough one though, because we're doling out wins like candy, like Grandpa gives us hard candy. And I don't, Chase Elliott won 2 races last year. It's tough.
Did he win 2 races last year? He won Pocono. Where else did he win?
Yeah, he won Pocono he won Pocono and Atlanta.
Oh, Atlanta.
Oh no, Kansas and Atlanta.
Kansas. He didn't win at Kansas, did he?
Chase Elliott. That's what it's saying right here. Kansas.
Oh, he did. Remember that was the overtime race where he came through, led like the last lap. Yeah, that was crazy. Forgot about that. Look, I think you have to take the under on this one. I love Chase Elliott. I'm a Chase Elliott fan. I grew up a Bill Elliott fan. But much like his teammate at Alex Bowman, very capable of winning 2 races. Chase Elliott's won, I think, 4 or 5 in a season before. He's capable of doing that type of thing. But he generally does not get to 2 wins. And he's just not a guy that you think of on a Kyle Larson, even a Chase Briscoe type of level now, where each and every week he's a big threat to win. Like, Chase Briscoe every week is a huge threat to go win the race. Chase Elliott every week is a threat to win the race because he can win at any style. He has won at all the styles, and he can be good anywhere. But he doesn't just come out and dominate races and isn't fast and have the crazy speed that a guy like Chase Briscoe does. So getting the plus money on the underside of things, and we're going to have to balance out the sheet somewhere and get some unders. And I think Chase Elliott is one of the guys that you would go under. I'm not racing to the window to bet this because could he win 2 races? Absolutely. But I'm not overly confident that he's going to get 2 wins. You look at last year's wins, right? Pocono, if I recall, was he was one of the better cars that day. But the Kansas one really came down to circumstances at the end that, he kind of snuck in there and stole one, which is, it counts, right? But I'll take the under on 1.5.
It's so tough. I mean, yeah, he did win 2 races last year, but like you said, one of them was an overtime craziness. It's been a few seasons since that 5-win season of 2022. So I guess I'm going to take the under with you as well. I like that it is +120. If we're expecting Chase Briscoe to win a couple races more, if we're expecting, maybe Bubba Wallace to pick up that win, Chris Buescher to pick up that win, it's got to come from somewhere. So yeah, I'll take the under on that one. Ugh, feels hard to say, but
TK with some good points in here. James Small, the Briscoe crew chief, probably continue to play risky in this new format. Seems to be the type to push more when he can, so more likely to go for wins instead of settling for a good points day. Honestly, I think it'll be the opposite for Chase Elliott in that camp because they're so good at just putting together good days. And that's where this type of format, if I had to pick one driver in the field that would go out and win the chase without winning any races in the chase, Chase Elliott would be the first guy I would pick because he's so good at just consistenting the fuck out of you, right? And that's what he's going to always do. So I think they're going to probably play into that strategy a lot throughout this new points format where wins, yes, the points are there and you want to win, obviously, but they're going to settle for good points days more than they're not, I think, because they're so good at having good points days. So I don't think they'll be overly aggressive to go get wins. Whereas some of these guys, the Keselowskis of the world, the Truex or not Truex, Briscoes of the world, the new Truex, those guys, those teams are going to be aggressive going after wins no matter what.
And what do you mean by consistencies? Well, 190 top 10 finishes in his 11-year career, 19 last year, 19 the year before that, 15, 20, 21, 22, 15, 21, 21, 17. I mean, the only season that he didn't have double-digit top 10 finishes or even more than 15, let's get it all right, is that 2015 season where he only ran 5 races. He didn't have a chance to get double-digit top 10s in his 2020 or 2015 season. So, yeah, he's going to continue to be that guy, but yeah, 2 wins seems like a little lofty goal, especially like you said, with somebody who's I don't want to say happy with it, but is comfortable in being consistent. So,
yeah, and again, it's juice to the over. The books probably think he'll go over, and they're going to take action on him going over because he's got the Cowboys, the Lakers effect of being the most popular driver. But so we won't be shocked if he gets to 2. But betting wise, if we're going to pick a side, it's the under.
Indeed. All right. How about Chris Buescher's teammate, Brad Keselowski? Can we say Brad anymore? Is King Hawaiian not really what he's at?
They've left. They're with Denny Hamlin now, but that's okay.
Damn. Well, okay. So Brad Keselowski then, his is set at a half of a win. This one's tricky because I want the under, but I just feel like he's going to see slow roll saying, here's the bet, Brad K, half a win, -115. Is this for real? Hammer time. But show me on the doll where Brad Keselowski's made me confident that he's going to win.
He almost won 9 races last year, Rod.
There's not almost a half a win on the thing. It's
almost
a full
only
win.
Counts in hand grenades and horseshoes. But no, I do love the over on this slow roll. Again, we're going to get to the point where we're probably signing too many wins to people. But how does Keselowski not get one? Like he's still proven that he can go out and win. He just won. Not in 25, but he won a race in 24. So we're not that far removed from him being in victory lane. He's still the type of guy that's competitive, and they're going to gamble. There is nobody that gambles more than the 6 card does. They will gamble each and every single week. They're always chasing it. You saw it at Phoenix to end the year. They almost won that race because they just go out and whatever everybody else is doing, we're doing the opposite because why the hell not? It's going to come in eventually. Great at super speedways. You got 6 of those on the schedule. Missing one of those Daytona 500 trophies. Maybe he cashes this one first week of the season. Who knows? But I do like taking the Brad Keselowski on the over. It's -115, so we're finally at regular betting numbers. So you like that. I'm going to be rooting for it. I want to be happy when it hits. So give me Brad K on the over, half a win.
I'm taking off my bread-colored glasses. I'm going to take the under. He's only had 2 wins since the 2021 season. It's tough for me to say with certainty like you that Brad Keselowski is going to put it together enough to put a win on the board this year. So I'm taking the under. I'm saving that win for somebody else.
I believe this is the first one where we have gone separate ways. Well, Chris Buescher, I get, or no, but first one we've gone separate ways.
Okay, good. That's fine. I am taking the under on this one. Again, wish Brad all the best. But as I've seen the numbers, Cody. I've seen what's going on. I feel less optimistic about certain folks, and Brad Keselowski is one of them, unfortunately. All right, let's move to Denny Hamlin. He is set at 3.5 wins. Now, I like this. 3.5 wins, -115 on either side, right?
Yes, and yeah. Give us a -115. Let us pick a side and get the same number either way.
An absolute pick 'em on this one. Denny Hamlin, 6 races last season. He was the one with the most victories in the sport. 14 top 5s, 18 top 10s. They are expecting him to take a dip And honestly, 3.5, it feels like a trap on the over. But at the same time, it's like, I don't know. To me, I think Denny Hamlin, with everything that has been going on with him, is going to be out to just dominate, right? There's two things that can happen when tragedy like that happens. You can buckle under the pressure, or you can rise to the occasion. And Denny Hamlin does not strike me as a guy who will buckle under the pressure. I think in this instance, he will just race his ass off. Maybe this is his last year. Who knows? But like, we're in for a Denny swan song. I think 4 wins is doable for Denny Hamlin.
We've definitely never seen Denny Hamlin buckle under pressure before. But I don't know. I got to go with JDK here. I think you have to take the under. 4 wins is tough to get to. And JDK shared it earlier in the chat that he's only gone over 4 wins 6 times in his 20-year career. That's not very many, right? If you're looking at percentages. And he's an older driver. And last year I came into the season saying he was done. He was over the cliff. They made the crew chief change. That was it. Clearly I was very, very wrong, right? And I've gone back and realized that and adjusted during the season, right? We started betting on him a lot. And his comeback story and his do it for dad might be to win the championship, because they've changed the format into he's the guy that it helps the most that they've changed it, is just go out and be consistent over 10 races. Great. I said that earlier that Chase Elliott is the guy that you're going to pick if you're picking a guy that's not winning races, but who could be the best over 10 races? Give me Denny Hamlin, because that's what he's very good at, and on different track types and styles and everything. So I like maybe him to win the championship. Maybe we talk about that more when we make our final championship picks before the season starts. But getting to 4 wins again, it's a lot. And we're already assigning Chase Briscoe if we think he's going to pick up more wins. If we think Brad Keselowski or Chris Buescher and Bubba Wallace are going to steal some of these wins, they've got to come from somewhere. I think Denny goes out and has a great season. I think he gets 3 wins again. Fine. But is he going to get to 4? 4 is just, it's such a big number to cross, and you have to have such a good season to get to 4. I think that he's going to get to 3 or less. And at some point, we're getting to the point where we're going to see him start to trail off, right? 60 seemed almost undoable a couple of years ago. He goes out, has a couple of good seasons. He gets to 60. So that's the thing is he got to 60. That was the big number, right? Like that was what we were chasing. That was the big thing. Dad got to see him do that. Now we've obviously had the tragedy with losing his father, his mother, getting burned in the fire and stuff. How does he respond to that? Like you said, it could be crazy. And Slow Roll saying he may win the first race. Honestly, the Clash might be a great place to bet on him because of the story that would be and the emotions. But how long is he going to be able to sustain that? How distracted is he going to be? How much is his heart still going to be in it without his dad here? I think there are questions there. So I'm going to take the under on Denny Hamlin at 3.5. Now that I don't think he's going to have a great season, could be the champion potentially in this new format. It's been 3 races, but I don't think he's going to win 4.
Sometimes life is like a Hollywood script, and Denny Hamlin to come out and win at least 4 races and win the championship is one of those things that Hollywood script writers beg for to be able to make it into a movie. So we will go with the Hollywood narrative, and I'm going to take that win that Brad Keselowski's not getting. I'll give it to Denny and give him over 3.5 on this one. So, all right, this is an interesting one as we hit the last 2 on the board here for today. Austin Cindric set at 1/2 of a win. You almost cannot bet the under on this one because Austin Cindric just jumps up and does this to you because he's done it 3 out of the last 4 years. Right now, I know bettor's fallacy is to say that past performance dictates the what's going to happen in the future. But I'm telling you, man, you count him out and he wins. Right? He's won in back-to-back seasons. Just pops up and wins a race. And I know that this is a different format, championship-wise, and it's winning you're in. But like Austin Cindric, he'll just pop up and win a race, and that's the reality of life.
Yeah, but not this year.
Okay. You don't think he's going to do it this year?
I just, you look at guys like Brad Keselowski, guys like Chris Buescher, guys like Bubba Wallace. I feel much more threatened by them on a week-to-week basis. Now, can he go out and win the Daytona 500 in a couple of weeks? Sure, because he's done it before. He's a very good plate racer, possibly one of the better ones in the series. That's likely where a win's going to come from. But my advice to you, if you're betting on win totals, is do not ever bet over on a win total because you think somebody's going to win a super speedway. I think you have to not take into account those 6 races. I think you can use those 6 races to say, hey, with Brad Keselowski, like, I think he can win a lot of places. Plus those 6 races, he's got a pretty good shot, right? But don't just bet on them because you think they're going to win a super speedway. So if you take the super speedways off the table, I don't think there's anybody in the Cup Series where you say they're guaranteed to win a super speedway race this year. If we're talking about Austin Hill's super win total in the O'Reilly series, yes, let's factor those in because he's going to win some of those races because he's proven to us that he will, right? But in the Cup Series, I don't think it's not an SVG case where, yeah, he's for sure going to win one. There's a lot of guys that have better chances than others, but you don't ever count on that. Outside of that, where's he going to win? Sure, he's good at Gateway. I don't think he's going to go win there necessarily. He can be good a lot of places, but he's not necessarily great anywhere. And I don't think he has picked up a lot of wins over the last couple of years, and he's found ways to do it great. I think this is the year we see him not win. So I will take the under on Austin Cindric again, leaning with the way the books tell you to go. But it's actually not really because it's -115 on either side. So
both sides. Yep.
This isn't easy. Actually, this might be one of my favorite unders on the board because it is only -115. Yep. I just if he beats me, he beats me fine. But I'm not shaking in my boots over here at Austin Cindric.
So this is what we'll say. Okay, I'll go with you on the under because I just feel like you're right. You're cashing this until you're not. And so with Austin Cindric, there's a chance that you might not. Granted, like I just said, he's done it 3 out of the 4 years. It's tough to say that. However, I'll tell you, just don't even bet this. Like you can bet the under, sure, but like if he jumps up and beats you, then you can be like, "Hey, Rod, he told you." No, see, but no, Cody,
no, you bet the under, and then if he beat, like again, if you lose one of these because somebody wins on a super speedway, it almost shouldn't even count against you. It does, obviously, but that shouldn't be the. Oh, I bet you told me to bet this and I lost because he won at Talladega. Like, okay. But yeah, look at how close 15 other people were to winning on that last lap at Talladega too. So I just don't think you can overly factor in drafting track races. And there's 6 of them, yes, but I don't think you can overly factor them in. I'm very comfortable betting the under on this and actually will be doing so.
Okay. Cody approved on that one.
Are you going over?
No, I'm going to go under.
All that talk and you still go under.
Well, because I talked myself into a corner. The live thought process of Rod was like, well, this is my convictions, which suck. So I'm going to switch lanes here and go with Cody on this one.
Also, just TK real quick. We don't know if it's a contract year for Cindric, but because Penske's very tight-lipped on their contracts, but we're assuming he's pretty close. And we definitely talked about him in the hot seat conversations we had a couple of weeks back. So if you haven't checked that out, go make sure you check that out. We do think that he's probably one of the drivers more on a hot seat than others.
Indeed. All right. Somebody who's not on the hot seat for sure. William Byron, his win total set at 3.5, the over at +100, the under at -130. So they don't think that William Byron's going to win 4 races next year. He only won 3 last year, slacker. William Byron, I mean, listen, again, we talk about how hard it is for Denny Hamlin to win 4 races. William Byron, we've seen him go on tears before in his career. He did win 6 in 2023, but since then has cooled off. And really, he's only won more than 3 races that one season in his 8 years. Is a 4th win in the cards for William Byron this year.
Yeah, I think this is another one. I think when you get to these guys with the bigger numbers, it's just easier to go on the under side of things because it is so hard to get to 4 races. And you pick your spots with guys, and we've already kind of picked a spot with Chase Briscoe. We picked a spot with Denny Hamlin going on the underside of things. William Byron, again, is a guy that can win anywhere. He's won the last 2 Daytona 500. So is he going to win a 3rd Daytona 500? Or to get back to 3, is he going to have to pick up a win somewhere else? So if you do want to factor in some super speedway stuff, that's a way to factor it in to the negative is he's going to have to find likely, right? He can go win the 500 again because why not? He's already done it 2 in a row. 3 in a row. I don't think we've had anybody win. Did Denny win 3 in a row? I don't think he won 3 in a row.
No,
I don't know that we've had anybody win 3 in a row when it comes to 500s. But
no 500.
But like, so now he has to go pick up 2 more wins. Is he capable of doing it? Absolutely. Again, a guy that can win anywhere, a guy that's in a fast car, in a good ride, is a great driver. But I just don't see him being the guy that's going to go out and win 4 races. He can in a given year. But again, if you're betting on it, let's start with where we're cashing the bet, and that's on the under. Minus 130 is not that big of a number, so I will go under on Mr. Byron.
I mean, if you're willing to lay 190 on Shane van Gisbergen, yeah, I think this is a safe bet because, I mean, he won at Martinsville last year, won at Iowa this year, 11 top 5 finishes in 36 starts. It's kind of like, yeah, that's great, but, you know, it was a third at Loudon, was about the closest that he got to it. Second place at Charlotte, which was a good one. Second place at Darlington, second place at Austin. So, I mean, a couple of opportunities to do it, but I think TK and Slow Roll are getting into this.
Good point. He does have that summer months, like it's the Jimmy Johnson thing where they struggle during the summer, whether they're testing stuff or whatever. Maybe that'll be somewhat different this year. And it wasn't as bad in 25 as it had been previously, but he still didn't win races during that period. And like TK points out, I mean, he might take less risks. He dominated the regular season last year, then started taking the big risks before still being able to lock it up with one race to go. But, you know, them just going out and running their race every week and being consistent is another thing. He's another one of those guys that's really good at that. That might be all he has to do to be able to be that top seed going into the chase this year. You know, he won the regular season championship before they even got to Daytona last year. So I don't know that they're going to push overly hard to go pick up extra wins. Again, all these guys are racing to win and they want to put themselves in the right position, capable of doing it. But I don't think they're going to take the extra gambles that you might see from some other guys to go get the win. So I do like the under on Byron.
Yeah, I'm with you on the under as well. Again, tough to pull out 4 wins out of the hat if we're giving other folks a couple of wins here and there, and we still have half the board. So, Cody, where are we at win total wise?
Well, Rod, technically, you've handed out at least 13 wins. I've handed out at least 10 wins. Now, that doesn't take into account, you know, like William Byron, we went with the under, so I didn't give him any, obviously, and Denny Hamlin, they're going to get wins, so we'll have to add those in at the end.
Okay.
But we've predicted 13 wins to have at least happened through the first 10 drivers on the field. So we got 23 more wins to hand out. We got some big hitters coming in, right? Kyle Larson obviously going to have the largest win total on the board, as he should. There's some, you know, Marcus tune back in, Christopher Bell. We haven't talked about Carson Hocevar yet. There's some big fish. Tyrone Gibbs, Rod. I got a lot of wins to hand out in the next episode.
Yeah, see, so there we go. Stick around for that episode as we will hand out some more win totals and wins and give you our favorite sides of them. So, Cody, yeah, and that's coming back on Tuesday of next week. So we'll give you some time to marinate on it. Yeah,
absolutely. Go play some of these bets this week. Throw them in some of your parlays with those NFL plays. Go over to sportsgamblingpodcast.com where you can get all of my plays for divisional weekend along with lots of other stuff. And you can find the rest of my stuff, Rod, over at Husker_Zeeb. There's a lot of content. It's constantly rolling out. You can find it all there. Still doing the bets to count down to the Daytona 500 every day. So been a lot of fun, and have a good rest of the week, everybody.
If you Google Cody Zeeb, he's comes up as the award-winning.
Google me. All I do is win. Oh,
all he does is win. Yes. All right. Follow me on Twitter at RJ Villagomez. I've got all kinds of stuff going on there as well. You can keep up with all of my content along with it. All right, guys, have a fantastic week. Thanks for sticking with us so far as we've broken down the win totals, and we'll come back with more next week. So until then, we love you all. Let's make NASCAR betting fun again. Let's go racing and let it ride.